Throughout the 240-plus-year history of the United States, there were less than 20 years in which the country was not at war. Since the end of World War II, the saber-rattler, with a burning ambition for perpetuating its global hegemony, has frequently provoked or engaged in wars here and there. From the Korean War and the Vietnam War to the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War, the United States, referred to as the #1 warmonger by former President Jimmy Carter, has committed mass atrocities against innocent civilians time and again and created numerous human rights catastrophes. Let's take a brief look at some major wars the United States fought after World War II. The Korean War. During the Korean War from 1950 to 1953, more than 3 million civilians were killed and about 3 million people became refugees. Vietnam War. In the Vietnam War lasting from 1955 to 1975, as many as 2 million civilians died and over 3 million people were displaced. Kosovo War. In March 1999, NATO troops led by the United States carried out a 78-day continuous bombing of Yugoslavia, killing more than 2,000 people and injuring over 6,000. Nearly 1 million people became refugees in the war, which also caused an economic loss of over $200 billion on the country. Afghanistan War. From October 2001 to August 2021, the U.S. military operations in Afghanistan killed and injured more than 100,000 civilians, and created about 10 million refugees. Iraq War. In March 2003, the United States and its allies invaded Iraq based on the so-called claims that the Iraqi government possessed weapons of mass destruction. At the end of 2011, the United States withdrew its troops from Iraq, with no findings of any weapons of mass destruction. The Iraq War led to around 200,000 to 250,000 civilian deaths. Syrian War. Between 2016 and 2019, 33,584 civilian deaths were documented in the Syrian fightings. A research report released in May 2023 by Brown University's Costs of War project website reveals that in the theaters of war where the United States conducted overseas counter-terrorism operations following the 9/11 attacks, the total death toll ranges from at least 4.5 to 4.7 million people. Apart from directly waging wars, the United States has also intervened in other countries' internal affairs by supporting proxy wars, providing weapons and ammunition, training anti-government armed forces and other ways, which have caused serious harm to the social stability and security of the relevant countries.